Yo, what's up, guys? Chris, DCP right here, and let's see. So, real quick, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Chris. I'm 20 years old, turning 21 in May. I live on Long Island in New York. Let's see. I applied for Spring 2016, Spring Advantage 2016, and I got accepted, but I declined. I was accepted as custodial, and I declined for a couple different reasons. And I'm back, and today I just had my phone interview for fall 2016. That's my first choice. Fall Advantage is my second choice. So it went pretty well. My interviewer's name, I think, was like Fran or Gran something. I couldn't really tell. She was very quiet. Very different from my interviewer back when I was applying for spring. My interviewer back when I was applying for spring, her name, I don't remember, but she was very nice, very bubbly and happy, and like just, very, very like uppity, right? This interviewer was kind of just like I would say something and she's like, all right, cool. So yeah, totally fine, whatever, no biggie. She was nice and all that. And I basically got the regular old questions that you're expecting. Are you familiar with the Disney look? And are you willing to comply with all that stuff? Yeah. If you guys don't know what the Disney look is, I would suggest a Google. It's worth a Goog. I'm not going to go into it too much. She said, "Are you enrolled in this college, whatever?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. That's correct." And I see you live independently. Did you dorm? Have you dormed before in a roommate situation? I was like, "Yep." And I told her a little bit about that. She goes. She asked, "How would the DCP benefit you educationally?" I told her that. For me, I actually just went onto a business path. So, I said, if you guys are looking for something to say for that, I said, Disney is a Fortune 100 company that exhibits, guest service at a tier that's higher than nearly any company out there. It's a level of professionalism and guest service that is really, really difficult to achieve, but Disney does it anyway. Everything is perfected, from the time you get on that bus to getting to your resort to going to the parks. Everything is thought about, by people by cast members, and everything is perfected, everything is professional, and everything is magical. So, I told her basically the things that I'm going to learn from Disney's model I can take with me whether I want to pursue a career within Disney or outside of Disney or start my own business. I can take with me with whatever I do, even professional and non-professional life as I move forward. So, I think she liked that answer. I think that was a pretty good answer. Definitely, she asked, I've worked 2 jobs in the past, and I work 1 job now that I'm employed at, and she said, can you, tell me some of the good and bad things from all of those? And I was like, oh, all 3, okay. So I just went, I said, good things were this, and this. A bad thing was maybe this. A good thing was this. And I tried to, not emphasize the bad things too much, And the bad things were I got a little bit busy, but, and I, prefaced, I was like, comma, you feel a sense of achievement at the end of the day, or blah, blah, blah. So I tried not to, dwell on the bad things or make it seem like I was, the type of person to complain a lot. Let's see. So, a time you had to deal with a difficult guest came up. That's really important. I think for nearly every role that you're going for, you have to talk about a time when you had to deal with a difficult guest and how you solved the situation. I said that there was a guest who was a little bit rude at Target and was kind of insulting, and I basically just kept smiling and said, I apologize that I can't really help you find what you're looking for, but I'll be right back. Let me go grab my supervisor, Tom, and he'll definitely know, how to help you. And, I think I think the answers for that are pretty much common sense. You need to kill them with kindness, Let's see. So the question came up that was a little bit new this time. That was, what roles are you most qualified for? And I told her I was most qualified probably for merchandise because I've worked on registers in the past. I work in retail currently, and convention guide because I'm really, really comfortable talking in front of groups of people. I do it at school. I do it, on the internet, I guess, if you really want to consider that the same thing. And I do it at work. So, I went on into a little bit more detail, but that was kind of, where my answer came from. And she also asked why she picked out of the list of things that I showed interest in, why I would be excited about children's activities. And I'm sitting there like, damn, I think I really, really should have focused more on convention guide, merchandise, and attractions. Those are my top three. And I don't really want like if I get another role, I'll be happy to do it. But I really want attractions, merchandise, or convention guide. Those are the ones I'm really gunning for and hoping to get, one of those three. So I kind of had to make up an answer on the spot, and I was like, I have younger siblings, cousins, blah, 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 whatever. You guys get the deal, right? One thing that I was not asked that you may be asked is if you put down convention guide as something you exhibit high interest in, your interviewer may ask you to describe illuminations. Now, I had no idea what illuminations was. Like, I knew what it was, but I didn't connect that it was called Illuminations. So Illuminations is the fireworks show at Epcot at the end of the night that they put on. And once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what Illuminations is. But if you were asked that on an interview, you might not know right off the top of your head. So make sure if you're interested in Convention Guide, you're familiar with Epcot. That's extremely important. Apparently, that's like the big place where the Convention Guide is going to be working. Character attendant. One thing that you might want to make sure you're aware of is the question, how would you react to a guest who is being inappropriate or violent towards a character? I have no idea how I would answer that. Maybe I would get my characters far away from to a safe distance or something. I don't know. Luckily, I wasn't asked about that. Whoops. So I'm just going to skip over that. Character integrity is something that I wasn't asked about, but I've heard many other people are asked about. Basically, if you don't know what character integrity is understanding how important it is to maintain the fact that when you're in costume, you're in costume. When you're on stage, you're on stage. And Disney is just as much a performance as it is a business, as it is a theme park. So it's something where you need to take it seriously, and you have to be in character all the time and preserve the magical experience for all guests of all ages. So that's something important to think about with any role. Let's see what else. I was asked to describe a stressful or busy day at work and how, I kind of overcame that, and that was really easy. I've worked Christmas Eve at Target, and I worked Christmas Eve at a bagel shop. It's that kind of is self-explanatory. Let's see. Just emphasize when you're talking about something like that. Make sure you're emphasizing your guest interaction and how you satisfy, a guest service, really. Make sure that your guests are completely satisfied with everything that's going on, and you're doing everything in your power to help them find exactly what they need. Even if you're working on a cart of, say, reshop, or, we call it reshop. You might be stocking shelves or something like that, and a guest comes up to you, make sure you set aside what you're doing and help them out. A roommate conflict I was asked about, and I just said that we had, it was 3 18-year-old guys living in a small room. We had a lot of issues with garbage, and we had to kind of hash it out and figure out when, each of us were taking out the trash. No big deal, something like that, because that's what happened with me my freshman year. Let's see, what else? A question I was not asked, but you could be asked, is how would you deal with a repetitive day and make it a little bit better? I was asked something like that regarding, working on a team. They're going to ask you, do you like working on a team or independently? Guaranteed. I said I would like working on a team. Hands down, I prefer working on a team. I like to bring energy and enthusiasm into what I'm doing, and I think that positively reflects onto other people. I think, happiness is contagious. A smile is contagious. And if you can bring that into a team environment, it's going to bring everyone up, make everyone happier. And at the end of the day, when you have guests coming into a shop or coming into the theme parks, they're going to see that the employees, the cast members, are happy, and, that's something that I like to bring to, my fellow cast members or team members at Target. Let's see. She read my skills list that I provided, which was, food handling, money handling, guest interaction, and use of a radio. So she brought in the fact that I was familiar with a cash register. And she said, is that something you're comfortable doing? And I said, actually, yeah, I even do cash register work at Target sometimes, so I'm totally comfortable doing that. And she was like, all right, cool. And let's see. How would you handle a situation where a child was not tall enough to ride a ride? That's another popular one that came up. I think it started to spring up in the last season of interviews, like around August, September, that time. And that's something where, I didn't know exactly. I didn't have, a creative reason to say, if let's say Winnie the Pooh is leaving, you say, oh, Winnie's taking a honey break, or Mickey has to go buy mini flowers or something. You've heard all of these before, but I wasn't really sure how to come up with a creative one like that, and I thought about it all night, and I didn't know. So, I kind of gave what I think would be the next best answer, and I said, you have to just be really, positive about the situation, and you have to realize that, a child may have been looking forward to this specific ride the entire vacation of theirs. So you have to kind of handle the situation with care and basically be able to point out alternatives to the parents on the map and tell the child that, there's other rides you can go on, and this ride will still be here, when you're tall enough one day. And, another thing that I've heard people have done is had a sticker booklet or like a roll of stickers, and maybe giving the child a sticker. It's kind of ease the situation, because regardless of what happens, the child's going to be upset. But it's a matter of, you can say, oh, sorry, dude, you can't go on the ride. Peace. Or you can be like, oh, I'm really sorry, but here's a sticker. Here's some alternatives you can take. Why don't you try this ride? I heard it was really cool. And just making sure that the child is, relatively not super upset. I mean, obviously there's going to be some incidents where there's a little freak out going on, but, that kind of stuff happens. And, let's see. So class interests, she didn't ask if I was, for me to name specific classes or anything like that. Although I did mention that I was interested in them and interested in the world of business because, and I was interested in taking the classes because I know that, Disney is extremely effective with, like I said, guest service and things like that. Something you may be asked are to list positives or negatives about yourself, so I would have them ready. Things like energy, passion, determination, stuff like that. Those are good for your positives. Negatives, don't make it something like, I was arrested for pedophilia. Like, come on. Obvious stuff, guys. You know this. Don't, something that I would say is time management. So, I didn't get asked this question, but I was prepared to say, something that I've struggled with in the past is time management skills. And, I'm taking steps towards, bettering myself in that sense right now. I have a schedule for my coming semester of every single hour of every single day and what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to stick to that as best as I can in order to become better at time management for myself. But that's something that in the past I've struggled with, and I haven't always, had all the time that I thought I did, and it's led to me not getting things done. I just said that really weird, but yeah. So that's something you might want to say. Time management. Don't say laziness. Do not say laziness. Oh my goodness, don't say that. What else? Yeah, I think you guys can think of your own for those. One question that I asked at the end is if Disney had any volunteer opportunities, and my interviewer seemed like got a little excited that she's like, oh, well, yeah, there's actually this thing called volunteers, and I was like, ha, ears, ha, clever. But yeah, you guys get the deal. And that's something I'm genuinely interested in. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it, but we'll see. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Be prepared to, like I said, what does Disney mean to you? How is the DCP going to benefit you educationally? Other people have mentioned this, but now the interview questions are kind of geared towards what skill set can you bring professionally? What do you want to learn professionally? Excuse me. And how is the Disney College program going to affect you in the future as a student and as a professional? So definitely keep those things in mind. If you guys want to do, some general planning, I had a sheet like this. I really didn't read off of it much. I just kind of looked at it and said, oh, yeah, she asked that. Check. I was like, I guarantee she's going to ask this next. Yep, there it is. Boom. So it's kind of like, prepare yourself in that sense. If you're not in the Facebook group, I would highly encourage you to join. Do some searching around for fall 2016 Disney College program. You should be able to find the groups and get added to them relatively easily. I would highly recommend that. There's a lot of resources there for you guys to do better on your interviews and throughout the entire process of applying. Last time I heard back in 5 days, 3 business days, 2 weekend days. So I hope it takes that quickly this time. We'll see. I think this time I think I was pretty well spoken with my answers. However, I didn't mention, like last time I mentioned how I went down and worked closely with Lou Mangello of Walt Disney World Radio and did a video project for him. Didn't mention that. I didn't mention that I, worked closely with a DCP intern, a professional HR intern during that experience. Those things potentially could have helped me, but I also, I didn't want to force them in and seem like, oh, I know people, get me in. Because really, I don't. And I worked closely with a couple people, once. And I'm not some type of super connected, Disney person or anything like that. So those things didn't come up, and I didn't want to force them into the conversation. But overall, I think I had a good interview, and I wish everybody else luck. If you guys want to follow my journey throughout the DCP, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to have some vlogs when I actually get there and, in the preparation for it. Maybe I'll include something like a checklist that I'm doing, and that way you guys can see what checklist of stuff I'm going to be bringing. This is all going to be down the line. I know this video is a little bit long, but like I said, I don't really post videos on this channel a whole lot. So they're going to be long videos with a lot of content, but spaced out, relatively, with time consuming gaps. Does that make sense? So yeah, so I think this channel will become more active closer to the program. Excuse me. My voice is acting up right now. I've been talking a lot. Did you guys do that thing where it's like before your interview and you're pretending as if they answered you and you're like, well, let me tell you, I blah, blah, blah. And you're just talking to the wall. I do that a lot. So my voice is kind of shot right now. But, I wish everybody luck, and I'll see you guys in Disney. Peace.